We have again, my colleague and senior editor Uday Pratap Singh has spoken to Karim El Aynaoui, who's the president of the Policy Centre for the New South Morocco, about the Middle East conflict, economic implications and potential disruptions, including oil supply. All this and more at the Raisina Dialogue being held in India's capital, New Delhi. Take a look.
Well, joining us now on NewsX is Karim El Aynaoui. He is President Policy for the Centre of New South in Morocco. Many thanks for speaking with us. I have to first begin by asking you, of course, about the current geopolitical events. All focus is on the Middle East conflict and, of course, the fact that there are two other wars also on. Pakistan-Afghanistan conflict, and we've, of course, seen the Ukraine war as well continue. What kind of impact are these conflicts, and particularly the one that has erupted in Iran, having on the economic outlook for India and, of course, for many other countries in the south?
I think, first of all, this is happening in a context which is, most countries have in their fiscal, situation, they have the scars of the crisis, and COVID is still in the public finance in many countries, and of course, there's a good recovery in a country like India, Morocco as well. Since post-COVID, we have been having fast growth. But so in general, public policy is under constraint. So this conflict, because of its immediate impact on oil prices particularly, is a shock for many countries. Let us see how it evolves. We don't have yet full information. We don't know the scale of it, the duration of it. But of course, the main transmission channel is on oil. And particularly for, I think you're an importing country. We are also an importing country. So for importing country, of course, it's a negative shock. It will increase the prices. It can raise inflation. It can affect negatively consumption. So there can be strong effects and also increase production costs for companies. So this is not a small shock, but we don't know yet the scale of this shock yet.
Okay. If we are going to see a prolonged closure of the Strait of Hormuz, what kind of impact can that have on energy security of countries? Also now we've seen a ship which was sunk off the coast of Sri Lanka. That does mean, of course, that maritime tensions are likely to continue. This will affect shipping, movement of goods, logistics as well. Is that a concern if the conflict continues longer?
I think it's a concern. Just the risk and the possibility of it, as you just described it, increases the perception of risk, increasing insurance premiums, and there are many effects through transport cost, as you mentioned, the risk, but as well as the price of oil. So it's a double effect in a way. What countries should be doing in this context is really hedging. So, and this is why you've been seeing central banks accumulating reserves, having very prudent monetary policy. And that's why most governments have been sort of, after COVID, trying to reconstitute their fiscal margin of maneuvers. So you don't want to be exposed in your macroeconomic policy. You want to reduce your exposure to risks. And of course, while doing that, you will have more restrictive policies and it will affect your growth. So I think, this is not an easy situation, but the risk itself, the potentiality of the sequence you just described is in itself, something that will affect the decision-making process and the outlook for the coming year.
Do you believe that, the conflicts, the multiple conflicts that I spoke about at the start of my interview with you, and of course also these tariff wars that we've seen erupt post the US's administration's policy on trade, and also, of course, these changing geopolitical relations, has this led to an environment of economic uncertainty, according to you?
Definitely. Couple of years ago, in the happy days of globalization, nobody in a conference that will be centered on economic issues will mention politics, international politics. Today, you can't have a discussion on trade, on climate, on industrial policy, on energy without the political dimension. So it is adding a layer of complexity for public policy makers, and it is also having a cost. But I think, despite what we hear about strategic autonomy, the necessity to secure your supply chain,
we are interdependent. So what you would expect is that, and it is starting. It's countries organizing themselves among, friendly, friendly partners, and I think. At the regional level and maybe at the global level with some groupings that we will see emerge. And I think large emerging market countries like India, like China, and Morocco in its region, countries that have the capacity to attract investment, that are predictable, that have solid macroeconomic framework, that are stable internally, will be sort of the winners and will, maybe not winners, but they will gain, they will benefit. And you're already seeing it in the performance post-COVID. If you take a look at how countries have been doing post-COVID, you will see those countries that are already emerging. And both our countries, India and Morocco, have been having fast and steady growth since 2022. Thank you.
My final question to you, since you come from Morocco, has Morocco taken a position on the conflict right now? Any statement that has come in from your head of state so far that you can share with us?
I'm not in this business of, but I think some solidarity. Solidarity has been expressed with the countries in the Middle East that are not basically part of the conflict. So mostly Middle Eastern Gulf countries.
So you
So
must be having diaspora as well.
exactly, and long-term relations. And I think no one wants to see this conflict expand. Let us hope we don't see an escalation.
Thank you, Mr. El Aynaoui, and have a good trip to India.
Thank you very much.
With journalist Dinesh Uday Pratap Singh in Delhi, NewsX.